Hey everyone, Rita here. I've been speaking to a number of people recently about prices. So setting prices for grooming, and I see a lot of price inquiries and all that on all the groups. And I just wanted to give a little bit of my opinion and hopefully some advice that maybe encourages you guys to charge what you're worth. I'd love to know, is price something for you that is hard to set? Is it something that you struggle with charging people for what you do? Because I want to be totally honest. When I started grooming, and I'm going to say that this is probably, very generally speaking, probably something that most of you feel as well, is that when I started grooming, I was so grateful to be doing something that I loved that I didn't really care how much I was getting paid as long as I was able to do something that I loved. However, I still needed to pay the bills, so I was charging pretty much the bare minimum. And the way I worked out my prices was I rang around and I got the other prices in the area and I made sure that I was on par with those. I didn't look at any figures. I didn't look at how I needed to set it up to run my business to make sure I was making money. Is this how you have done it? Because I know that other people I've spoken to have done the same kind of thing. Because as groomers, we just want to work with animals, right? We want to be able to do something that we love. And I've been speaking to a number of people who aren't making enough money. So doing something that you absolutely love, but you're really not actually making a great living from it. So you might be able to get by, you might be able to pay your bills, you might be able to live, but you're just barely living. The amazing thing that we've got working with animals is that it's a really rewarding job. Like, it's a really lovely job, but that doesn't mean that you can't be professional about it and create a business that's sustainable and enjoyable for you. Rather than working 7 days a week and charging a low price to be fully booked and never having time, and then when you do have time off, you haven't made any money anyway to be able to do anything. So this is talking from experience. I've been there, I know what it's like. I was lucky because my husband was in the Air Force on a full-time wage and he was able to look after us. So basically I was living my passion and not making any money for a very long time. In fact, we lost a lot of money. A turning point for me was when I went over to the US and I studied at the Cat Grooming Institute with Danelle German. And Danelle is very different because she doesn't have, I'm going to call it the groomer mentality, which is we just want to groom animals. We don't care how much we're people pleasers. We want to give the best, but we often take a lot of crap on at the same time and don't charge enough for what we like. And it was the first time that I met someone who, she carried herself differently. She expected more. She was grooming animals not because she was grooming it because people wanted it rather than that was what she wanted to do. So for me, it was amazing to see someone with a different perspective, and the way she ran her business inspired me to change, to put my prices up, because I didn't want to just be a groomer like everyone else. I actually wanted to be able to make some money. So it was a transforming time for me, and I know it was really uncomfortable at the start. Every time I put up a price, I was like, it was a couple of dollars, and I'd be like, oh, like we'd put it up this minuscule amount, yet our electricity would go up, our wages would go up, our insurance would go up, everything was going up, but our prices didn't change. And so when we did put them up, we'd feel really guilty about it. Or I'd feel guilty. I have to make a note and let people know they're going up and be really apologetic about it. What that does is that actually brings on your customers looking at you in a certain way. So they will look at you as almost being not professional, and also that you're a bit of a walkover because you're so apologetic for what you're doing. You can work out how much you need to be making to be breaking even, and then make sure you're making more than that. You can do this job as a groomer. You can do this job and actually make a lot of money and not burn yourself out in the process. I got burnt out. I got burnt out because I wasn't valuing myself. I wasn't charging enough. I allowed staff members to do stuff that they shouldn't have done, and we weren't making any money. So there's lots of issues going on there. However, if you're not setting your prices and being really firm with those and believing that you're worth it, you're never going to get ahead with this. So start to see the value that you have got, the value that you can offer people. People, if they don't want to pay your prices or they quibble about those prices, they're not the clients you want. And if you keep those clients in place, you don't leave space for the customers who are going to absolutely love you and love paying whatever it is because they want you to groom their animals. This happened once I started to change my price. I lost a lot of clients who didn't want to pay the extra matting fees and all that kind of stuff. But in their place, I started to get people who had come in that were happy with the prices. Also, they were happy with our policies. They were happy with the way we groomed. And I took away some of those pain in the butt customers. I didn't have to deal with them anymore. So my life just became easier. I'm making more money. I'm enjoying my grooming. It's becoming a win-win situation. The hardest thing is making the decision to do that. And I encourage you to really look deeply at why you charge the prices that you do. If you're grooming a little dog, for example, I'm just taking some information that I've seen previously. Let's say you're doing a little small white fluffy and it's $65. If you're then grooming a Malamute and charging $80, that's a lot of difference in time of how much work you're putting in, how much effort that is. Even double that, like 65, so $130. That's even not really valuing your time and making sure that you're doing a good job and giving people what they need and not resenting the job that you're doing. So start to value what you do, put a price on it, and put a price that is one that's going to make your life better. Because you don't have to go into debt and be just getting by as a groomer. You can make money, and you can make money and be giving people an amazing service in the process. So don't undercut yourself. Don't talk yourself down. Hold yourself confidently. And when people ask you, how much do you charge? I charge $75 for a small dog. When would you like to book in? If they say that's too much, you go, okay, thank you. Let me know if I can help you in the future. Let it go, because they then leave space for someone who's happy to pay $75 or whatever your price is. Be okay with every year or every 6 months increasing your prices. Your costs are going up. You need to make sure that you're making money so that you can sustainably work in this industry. If anyone's got any questions, feel free to comment underneath here or send me a message, because I actually want you guys to avoid having what happened to me happen to you. And I see it all the time in the groups. I see it always. Some of the issues that you guys go through, and I just want to help you guys learn from my mistakes. So I'm going to hopefully be able to help you. And if you've got any questions at all, feel free to message me. See ya.